Hey y'all, these jogger pants are the perfect beginner sewing project. It's actually one of the first projects I've ever made myself. So if you want to learn how to make them yourself, stay tuned. For this project, you'll need fabric that has a little bit of stretch to it. This fabric that I'm using is 4% spandex, but it needs to be at least 2% spandex. If your fabric doesn't have a lot of stretch to it, you want to make sure you use a rib knit for the waistband and the cuffs. The pattern that we're using is the basic jogger pattern from Elemental Patterns. I have a link in the description below. The first thing you want to do is fold your fabric in half, and then you want to make sure that the stretch is going horizontally. With the pattern fabric, we're only going to cut out the front and back piece of the pants. Now you're going to take your pattern piece and place it on the fold. I like to use pattern weights to hold my pattern down, but if you don't have pattern weights, you can use something that's just a little bit heavier than the paper, and that's going to hold it down so it doesn't shift while you're cutting it. Once you're done with that first pattern piece, you're going to repeat this step with that second pattern piece. Next, you're going to take your rib knit and you're going to cut out your waistband, and you're also going to cut out your cuff pieces. After everything's cut, you should have a front piece, a back piece, your waistband, and your 2 leg cuffs. Now you want to take the back piece of your pattern and you want to lay it right side up. Then you're going to take the front piece of your pattern and you're going to lay it on top of that back piece, and you're going to put it right sides together. After that, you're going to pin or clip it together. Then you're going to sew that inseam as well as the 2 side seams. I'm using my serger to sew this together, but if you don't have a serger, you can use your sewing machine. Just use a really tight zigzag stitch. Next, you're going to take your pants, turn them right side out, and then you're going to iron those seams flat. This is going to help give your pants a more professional finish. Now that the pants are sewn together, we're going to prepare our cuffs and our waistband. We're going to fold them in half, and then we're going to clip or pin. Next, we're going to mark the center of our bands. So to do that, you're going to take your band and then you're going to just snip the very top and the very bottom of the center of that band. This is going to help us align everything later. Next, you're going to repeat those same steps with the cuffs. Once everything's clipped together, you're going to take it over to your sewing machine and you're going to sew those side seams together. After those are sewn, you're going to take your waistband and you're going to fold it in half. Make sure you encase that seam that we just sewed. And then once it's folded in half, you want to make sure you see the 2 snips and make sure they're aligned. And then once we've done that, we're going to do the same step with the cuffs. We're also going to fold those in half. Then we're going to repeat the same step with our cuffs. We're going to fold those in half, making sure that our seams are encased in the center of the cuff. Now we're going to clip or pin our waistband onto our pants. To do that, you're going to find the seam that we sewed, and then you're also going to find the little snip that we made. You're going to align the snip with the side seam of the pants. You want to make sure you're doing this on the right side of the fabric, and then you're going to stretch it across the other side, and you're going to align the seam that we sewed with the other side seam of the pants. Now you're going to repeat the same step with your cuff. You're going to take your cuff on the right side of the fabric. You're going to align that snip that we made with the inseam of your pants, and then you're going to align the cuff seam with the outside seam of your pants. And then once you've done that, the last step is to sew on your waistband and your cuffs. So you're going to take it over to your sewing machine, and as you're sewing it, you want to make sure you're stretching your cuff and your band. That way it's the same length as your pants. And then here's the finished product. These pants are super simple to make. I love it because it's only 5 pattern pieces, so it's not super complicated to figure out. By using that rib knit on the waistband and the cuffs, it allows for the pants to have a good amount of stretch. I've made these pants so many times and I'm definitely going to make them over and over again. I ended up making my son a whole jogger sweatsuit, so if you guys want to learn how to make that sweater, I've already made a video on my channel. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see me make next. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!